Hello everyone, I'm Steve Evans with the Kentucky Water Resources Research Institute. Today I'm going to show you how to use our nutrient field kits to sample Cane Run Creek. Okay, here we have our nutrient field kit. This is a bit different than our core monitoring kit. Inside we have our Hanner checker unit for measuring ammonia, our phosphate kit, it's Chemetrix for measuring phosphate, and our nitrate kit by Salifert, as well as a waste for our ampules, liquid waste, our sampling bottle, and gloves. I have to put these on before we get started. Okay, to sample we want to move upstream of the place that we've disturbed, and we want to find the foul leg of the stream. So that's going to be the central portion of the flow, the area where it's deepest and moving most concentrated. Okay, so we're going to start off with our ammonia kit. This is the Hanner checker unit, and let's see what's inside here. Okay, here we can see inside of the test kit, you can see that we have our ammonia checker, we have 2 ampules, and then reagent A, reagent B, and also an instruction manual is included. So we'll start by looking at the Hanner checker unit. You can see it's pretty basic. You've got one button here in the front. If you squeeze on the top, it pops open, and this is where the ampule will go. And then on the bottom, there's a place for a battery. You probably want to have a Phillips screwdriver with you and an extra battery, a AAA battery, just in case. Okay, it's a good idea to practice with this unit before you start to use it the first time. The button is maybe a little bit tricky. So if you press the button once, it'll bring up the screen for where you're ready to run your first trial, okay? If you press it the second time, it'll analyze that. When you get to this C2 phase, it's a little bit tricky. If you just press it once, it will go ahead and convert over the result. So you have to press it and hold to bring up the timer. But if you press and hold for too long, it'll actually shut down the whole unit. So it's good for you to practice when you're not actually having a test result. So here I'm going to press and hold, and it brings up the timer, and I release, okay? Just to demonstrate here, if I were to press and hold, it turned it off, okay? So you want to see press and hold till the timer comes up, and then release. Starting our test, we're going to take one of the ampules. You can see there's a white line on here that says 10 milliliters. So we're going to take the sample, and we're going to fill it up so the meniscus is at the bottom of that line. Okay, here you can see the meniscus is, the water forms like a little upside down bubble, and you want the bottom of that bubble to be lined up with the white line. Okay, once we get the sample, you can see we got some drips along the outside as we were pouring it up. So we want to make sure that you use a microfiber cloth or a paper towel, somewhere that's not going to leave a residue, to remove any fingerprints as well as any water from the outside of the container. Then we're going to take this vial and we're going to put it inside our Hanner checker unit and turn it on. You should see a screen that says C1. So we've added our unit, and we're going to press the button one time when it says C1, and this is going to analyze our blank. Okay, now we can see the C2 on the screen. We're going to take out the unit, and we're going to start our next step. So next step, we're going to take off our cap here, and we're going to find reagent A. You can see the little A over here in the corner. Unscrew this cap. We're going to put 4 drops of this reagent. 1, 2, 3, 4. Recap our vial. And we're going to swirl. Notice I'm holding by the cap. Alright. We're going to take the cap back off. And now we're going to use 4 drops of reagent B. One, 2, 3, 4. Tap it again. Swirl. Wipe off any fingerprints. Now I'm going to put it back into our checker, close the lid, press and hold. Timer comes up and I let go. Now I'm going to wait 3 minutes and 30 seconds and we'll have a result. Okay, so we've got a result. Our result is 0.04 ppm of ammonia as nitrate. This is also equivalent to milligrams per liter, and so you'll just record that number on your form. So we have a low level that's here. That's not surprising. There's some human and cattle inputs that are upstream, so we expected to get some ammonia in this stream. If you didn't get a result here and you had an error message, you want to check in your flip cards for the different sorts of errors that you might give. Worst case scenario, you may just have to retest. So for our last step, we're going to take the vial here. We want to dump it into our waste container and we want to turn this off. Hold, press and hold, turned off. Okay, here's our liquid waste container. I'm going to triple rinse this vial with distilled water. Okay, for our second test, we're going to have our Comet's phosphate kit. We'll open it up and take a look inside. Alright, inside you find the instruction sheet. You'll see one set of comparators here. Here is your other comparator for the lower level kits. You'll have our cuvette that has a cap, and also here's our reagent. You have our Comet's unit. If you open it up, this has our ampules that have pre-measured reagents that are vacuum sealed. So when you crack up the tip of it, it sucks up exactly the right amount to perform the reaction. So we will need one of these, and we're going to put the rest inside. So in our cuvette container, I want you to look on the inside of it. So inside at the bottom, you can see these little marks along the edges, and those are there as break points for when you put your ampoule in, and you can crack off just the end of the glass. You'll put it one of these sides. You can't see it as well when we actually fill it up with sample, so I wanted to show you that beforehand. So here we have our sample. We're going to fill it up to the 25 milliliter mark. Just a little bit more. Okay. Close up my sample jar. And we have our sample filled to the 25 milliliter mark. I'm going to add 2 drops of our activator solution. Okay. Close that down. Put the cap on the container. Mix the contents well so I can shake this one. Okay. We've mixed up our activator solution. You can see it's got a slightly cloudy color now. I'm going to take my ampule and I'm going to insert that tip right here at the bottom. So you can see I'm inserting that tip in one of those corners, and I'm going to give it a slight push against the side. So I push it into the side, and I'm going to give a slight push and you can hear the mark that it makes, the sound that it makes, that it released. There should be a bubble now on the inside, and you're going to move this up and down. Now you should get a clean break. If you get an uneven break at the end of the tube, just be careful for those jagged edges. And we're going to wait 2 minutes after snapping the tip. So again, I'm going to use my phone to measure out that time limit for 2 minutes after the test. Okay, we're coming up on our 2 minutes here, so I'm waiting for the final countdown. And we're going to take our vial. We want to wipe it off. And you can see that it's developed a blue hue to it. So we're going to first start with this lower level container. I'm just going to insert the tube. You want the pointy tip upward. Okay, in this case, we want to rotate it around so the cuvette is over the top of the one the color that it looks the most like. And in this case, it looks like it's actually a darker blue result than the maximum of this kit. You can see on the outside of the comparator are the numbers associated with each one of those different vials. So in this case, our result is above 1, so we have to take out our kit here. And we're going to match against this higher range comparator. And the way that we do that is we put it between the two vials and we find the one that it looks the most like. So in this case, I think this one is probably a 1. And so that's what I'm going to write down on my sheet. It's the phosphate is 1 milligram per liter of phosphate. Okay, this vial, because it is a sharp, and because we can't get the contents into it, you're going to put it into our ampule container, the whole thing. You're going to dump the remnant of the liquid into the liquid waste vial and triple rinse that for this test. We have a salivary nitrate kit. You can see there is an expiration date on the top, so you want to make sure that it is within the time limits before you get started. Inside the kit, you can see we have the instructions. We have the all-important card for referencing the color values. We have our cuvette, small syringe, and then our 2 reagents, the nitrate 1 and the nitrate 2. This one's a powder. Okay, to get started, we're going to open up our sample vial again, and we're going to use our syringe to withdraw 1 milliliter. You can see it here on the top. You want this to be the last test that you do, because by entering in the syringe to the water, you're actually introducing any contaminants that were on the syringe from before. So here we go. We'll draw it up. There will be a bubble, so you want to draw out more than you need and just press it out the top. And there I have 1 milliliter, which I'm going to add to my test vial. Okay, there you go. I'm going to set that aside for cleaning later. Cap off my sample. This is our nitrate 1 solution, and we're going to add our drops to here. We're going to add 4 drops of this solution to our vial. So again, we hold it up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cap that. And now we're going to use 1 scoop of our nitrate 2 solution. And you can use the side of the container in order to measure out that scoop. Tapping on the side to make sure I got everything in there. I'm going to set the timer, just start my stopwatch. I need to swirl it for 30 seconds, and then I need to wait 3 minutes for the reaction to complete. So I'm starting now. Swirl, swirl. I'm not shaking it, I'm just swirling gently the solution. And I'm gonna let that sit for 3 minutes. All right, so our time is winding up here. I'm gonna have 3 minutes and 30 seconds because I had 30 seconds for shaking and then 3 minutes for our test to run. And there we have it. So stop my timer. And so you can see there's a slight pink color here. Okay, we're gonna do 2 comparisons. We're gonna place our container on the top of it, and we're gonna look down from the top and try to line it up with the color that we think is a best fit. Right there is probably our best fit, so this would be 2 milligrams per liter. Now if the result is less than 2, we can actually test this. You can turn it sideways and look at it this way, okay? So here we go. We need to be on the white space as we're comparing. And actually that does give us a better result. So when you're looking at it this way, you need to divide the result by 10. So you can see this compares well. I think it compares well to the 25. So that would be a 2.5 would be the result. Okay, so that's 2.5 milligrams per liter of nitrate. And you're going to record that on your data sheet. Now I just need to take this extra waste, put it in my waste container, be sure to triple rinse this vial before I use it again. We hope you've enjoyed this sampling demonstration. Good luck sampling your creeks.